Hey folks, today we're going to talk about my most complicated Euro game in my collection, and that is Black Angel. I brought it home and no one wanted to play it. So
Well, when you see a game that's just a whole bunch of iconography and you're not a big board gamer and somebody goes, hey, you want to play this game? It looks super complicated.
It is definitely my most complicated game that I've ever attempted to teach, let alone play. But I was able to play this solo and had an immense amount of fun for something that was so involved. And so I played it a bunch of times solo, and then eventually I got enough confidence to kind of bring some people in and start teaching it. And we just played it together this weekend. We've set this up as sort of a two-player to kind of refer to things and for examples and stuff. But we actually played this four-player. It's maxed out this weekend at the board game meetup. All right, so in Black Angel, you are all competing AIs. The people of the Earth could not decide on a single AI to put into the ship, so they took several of their favorite ones and crammed them all together because, of course,
that's going to work.
Yeah, robots are going to work together much better than humans.
Competing AIs.
But the human race is pretty much extinct at this point. We've decided that there's another habitable planet, but to get there would take many, many generations. So the Black Angel is an ark of sorts, full of humanity's DNA and everything we need to survive, just hurtling through space. And whoever gets us there the most efficiently, I guess, is the AI that gets to help humanity start. So we're kind of competing in a sense to see who's the best AI, so when humanity arrives, they can be their overlord.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
I am absolutely certain that these people will not be raised up into slavery from the robots that took care of them. I'm sure.
There's only one slavery AI, and surely they're not going to win, right? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And what did you think? You've had one play of this.
Yeah. So you were showing me a bunch of games, and it was kind of in my peripheral memory. And another fella brought it up, and I was like, oh yeah, Sean. Yeah, Sean was kind of telling me about this game. And I really enjoyed it. I think the iconography of the game, anytime you get into an Euro like this, it's kind of overwhelming because it's like, okay, sit down. I'm going to teach you a new language for a moment. But the symbols, they all, like most of these games, once you sit down with them for a moment, it's like, oh, okay, these are all similar enough to each other. You can kind of get at what all of these little symbols are referring to, and there's really not that many different kinds of things on the board that you're paying attention to. I mean, well, there's a lot that you're paying attention to, but as far as the iconography goes, there's not that many different symbols.
So with this game, there's at least, I would say at least two other mini games going on at the same time. You've got your tableau, which you're constantly upgrading by sliding little technology tiles in and sliding other ones out. This is kind of a high points potential area. This is where most of your points are generated.
Yeah.
You've got some investigation going on in space, where you're going on missions in space. And then you've got actions that you're doing here to help mitigate damage to the ship, and also go on the journeys and collect debris that's picked up, and buy new technology tiles to work into your grid. So there's a lot going on. It seems like every turn has all these steps, and I found it really useful to play with a few other people, because at least halfway through the game, when everybody knows what's going on, they could say, oh, you forgot to add some tiles here, or don't forget to move this part up, or okay, we'll put some cards out over this place. So yeah, it's
when you're playing with four people, like you said, you've got at least two other people there going, oh yeah, you need to do this and that too. Oh, thanks. you appreciate that extra help to make sure you're not forgetting, because there's a lot of little moving pieces, like you said.
You can kind of assign them roles as like, always remind me to put out put out new technology tiles, or always remind me about the invaders that come when we go to seek out new planets.
Are those called Ravagers? Is that
yeah, Ravagers, I think.
These Ravager aliens that show up every time we're doing a mission on this intergalactic board that the Black Angel ship is moving down. Is going to put out these Ravager alien infiltrating, like, mean guys, and I don't know how many times we had to go. Somebody had to go, oh, remember, there's a couple over there you need to put out, and you just completely forget until it's the next person's turn, and then somebody catches it before it's a problem. So I can see how it would be a real problem, though, if you're playing for a minute and then you just completely forget a few of those components, which, you know, could have changed the way the game played out. So it's nice playing with a bigger group of people.
Now, aside from the Miami Vice color scheme, there's a couple of things that make this game sort of unique. I say sort of because the guys that designed this game also designed an older game called Trois, which has like 3 knights on the front. And I've never played. Yeah, Trois. I've never played that game. I kind of took a look at the back panel and went, I like sci-fi better. Maybe I'll just stick with this. It's the type of game where you're going to roll dice and then place them to do what you need to do. But the big thing is you can take other people's dice. So you can pay them some of your resources in order to steal their dice and use them for purposes, which can really mess up people's plans.
It makes it fun because even when you have basically 2 series of things that'll happen on your turn. You're either using those dice to do actions on the board, or you're gonna just re-roll all your dice and clear off some sections of your board. So even when you get a good roll on the board and you're playing with a bunch of people, you're like, I got some nice die, but they're probably not going to be in my hand by the time it gets back around to me. And at that point, you're trying to guard what you can, but you can only save 1 back if you even have the resources to do that with. So, yeah, there's a lot of theft that is just expected, I think, when you're playing with multiplayers.
This game goes on a timetable, and as he was saying, every time you reset, when you run out of resources to do your actions, when you reset, you do what's called the sequence beat. Mm-hmm. So you re-roll your dice, and then the Black Angel moves through space, and you're taking a tile off the bottom and you're putting it to the top, and the Black Angel moves up. Mm-hmm. Throughout the game, you're gonna have little mission cards on these different spaces, and as the Black Angel moves through space, those mission cards are going to fall off, and then you'll be able to tuck them inside of your board if you owned the mission. Mm-hmm. That is. So it's kind of interesting. You're sort of leaving resources behind. Just think about all the poor robots. Left behind.
Managing your robots is that's probably the thing that I enjoy the most about the game, is just the interplay with the mechanics of how, now if you're going to have actions on your turn where you can place your robots into these sections that basically denote that when you re-roll your die, you're going to get additional die to use, but they're going to take them out of your resource pool of robots, and you're getting them. I guess the majority of your points are, well, throughout the game, the points that you're gathering are coming from these objectives that you're hitting in space. Every time you do that, though, you're killing off a robot to do so. So I found that towards the end of the last game, I was just like, I got no robots to do anything. I had them all set out for all these spots to get extra die, but even when I had all those die to roll, I didn't have any robots to do anything. So then I was having to kind of jump back and try to figure out other ways to get robots at the end. And by that point, it's like the game's starting to end too. So there's not that many rounds.
No, the end of the game comes really quick, mm-hmm. and I found that the more people you add, the faster it mm-hmm. seems to come, because people will run out of resources and dice at different times. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just don't have anything you need, so you just re-roll. You have the ability to kind of manipulate the amount of dice you get by sort of a worker placement mechanism within the bridge of the Black Angel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, And these, it's one of the resources that's kind of fun too. Is you have these little saucer kind of style spaceships, and these robots are like little peg people, and they peg right down into those little spaceships. So it's kind of fun when you're moving. You feel like this guy's just making little beep bop beep noises as he's managing his way through space and trying to keep from completely falling off from the Black Angel who's hurtling away from him the whole time. So that was a fun like toy mechanism, I think, like you want to like to call it, like playing with toys or whatever.
Yeah, I mean it just looks cute.
It is cute.
Docked on the side of your card there and stuff, and kind of moving them around. The Black Angel as you kind of tear through space. This is the kind of color scheme that normally would really put me off, but I enjoy it for this. Like it seems it makes it so vibrant. It's
kind of like you're tripping at light speed through space.
Yeah,
because that's kind of what's going on. You got that kind of portal feel to it or whatever. Is all these colors are zooming past. You got one straight beam that the Black Angel's moving along like some kind of a light portal or something. So it's slightly trippy on the pictures, the colors that you have on the board.
I think I just realized I've got this upside down.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Does that really change much though? That's pretty much the same difference, more or less. Though.
I think it is kind of the same difference.
Yeah, as far as when they fall off.
But I just noticed the pictures were upside down.
And one of the other nice things of the components on this game is that they come with little things that you would definitely not want to have a child that likes Spree to be around. So
they do look like Spree.
They look like little mint flavored Spree candies. So yeah, there should be a child warning or maybe an adult warning to keep Sean from popping them in his mouth.
I tell you, the end of this game comes really fast. Like you're into it, you're trying to figure things out, and just before you do your optimal move, the game just kind of suddenly it's over, and we've arrived at the planet. There's kind of two ways to go. If you run out of Ravengers, like if you're involved with so many aliens, and you go through the whole deck, then that ends, and then you just count up how many points you have. If you get all the way to the end, then you get to also count up your resources, and that's when you get into your well, I guess you would count the technology tiles anyway, but you just count up your resources and see, who failed humanity the least.
Is that what that's supposed to signify, that the aliens have taken you over if you run through the
they've gummed up the work so much that you don't make it.
Who gets the best try sticker?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't feel like we even got close really to finishing all the aliens though, did we?
No.
We weren't running into that many throughout the game.
We didn't do that many missions early on, and I think that's what it was, because it went a couple of rounds before anybody ventured out into here, and that's where the aliens kind of start to accumulate.
Yeah, these objective cards are pretty interesting too as you go, because some of them just give you like bukus of resources. Like one of the guys we were playing with, he was picking up had a couple turns where once the card fell off, it activated both his ownership of the card, which anytime you're putting out an objective card, you're getting to take ownership of it with one of your little robots. He got to activate that, and he also had a little character on the ship docked in there. So each one of these objectives usually have, I guess they all have this, two little sections for people to dock in with ships and partake of either the die rolling ability to gain resources, or this falling off ability that happens as the Black Angel's moving through space. And when having ownership and having a docked in ship, he's able to get like 6 robots at a time, 6 ships at a time. That's a huge amount on the game because you're pretty tight throughout. I don't know if I gained 6 robots the entire game as I was playing, but so there's some neat things that can go on that can give you a nice boost that comes from the objective cards themselves.
So for this game, if you like Euros, if you like science fiction, well, okay. So theme-wise, the theme's a little thin. It's a little thin. Like that's not shining through, but it is kind of a fun thing to think about while you're playing the game. I like the little robots, of course, the little robot toys and stuff. That's all fun. But this is a heavier Euro, just because it's a little bit more complex, and it takes a little bit more time. And like I keep saying how quick it is, but that's really because your mind's so involved in the puzzle that it ends a little too quick to like accomplish your goals. But it does take a few hours. I would say at least a 2-hour game.
Yeah, it is going to take a little bit to get through, but it's not. Don't be intimidated by the idea of thinking that this is like, it's not like so heavy that you just are going to be like, oh, I'm bogged down. I got to be a genius to even understand the rules. It's not that bad. There's just a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things to look at. But it's definitely a doable thing. It's not like, you don't want to bring this to people that don't play board games.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna just be very angry at you.
And I did not like the rule book for this one at all. I learned a lot from videos and other people, watching people play it and stuff. That was a lot easier. The rule book's okay for reference, but again, it's in these same colors. For some reason, I have trouble reading hot pink. My brain doesn't want to see it that much. I like this game in general. It's not too hard to pull out either. Like I've seen Feast for Odin and some of these other like games that seems like a lot of components. It takes up a lot of table space, but it's not too hard to pull out.
Yeah, well, the thing with like a UA Rosenberg game is that you have a lot of options and like a lot of things that you can do from the beginning. There's what essentially 6 things that you're doing on this. Your 6 places that you can place your die at. Of course, you can always do your sequence B action too to kind of re-roll everything. But when you've got dice to play,
but to begin with, you just have 1 dice of each color.
Yeah.
So you can do one of 2 things with each of these, and then it's spent. I'm glad I bought this game, and I intend to keep it as my difficult Euro game.
Yeah.
But I would definitely I'd look for it on sale maybe. I wouldn't say it's a must-have. There's probably other Euro games that do things that are more fun than this. But
it's very charming. Especially these little robot guys. They're just cute as can be, and you really just feel like you're a bunch of cute little robots just trying to do their best to perform the task that the original humanity had set them out to do. So,
boy, I'm a sucker for anything with a spaceship too. Yeah. I mean, they really saw me coming.
Especially one that you can plug your guys into here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So neither of us have played Twa. But we did actually. We actually looked at it after we played this. They had it at the game store, and we were just looking at the pictures. And I mean, even if you can say that a theme's like kind of like painted on a game, to me it does make a difference. It's like looking at 2 different paintings or whatever. Which one do you enjoy more? And I'm with Sean, at least on this game. I'm open to Renaissance style kind of kings and queens and things like that, like Twa's set up as. But I just like this. I think it's a lot more charming. But if you own Twa, and if it does indeed play in a very similar way, I don't really know if I would want to own both of them. If it's I don't really want 2 of this exact style like of Euro, but I do enjoy it, and I could certainly see.
So Twa is like it's 9 years older than this game. Supposedly this is the spiritual sequel to Twa.
Okay.
And it took them 9 years to develop.
Yeah.
To go from that to this. So I'm kind of curious about what's different. What did they figure out in 9 years?
Might be a little more
refined. To end up here. Then again, if this is 9 years of progress, then I don't know if I want to play the other one.
Yeah.
Because I like this
true.
one okay, but I don't like it enough to go seek out
Yeah.
every version of it ever made.
Right.
Either.
It would certainly be worth sitting down and trying. Yeah.
I'll wait till someone else buys it, and
There's-
then they can teach me that.
There's only so many of there's only so many games most people want to keep in their house, and it's usually already a problem to have too many of them. And so if you're gonna pick one, I would probably pick this one just aesthetically. But again, neither of us have played Twa. Maybe it's doing something different.
Maybe it's ingenious.
Who knows?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I like this game okay. I give it like a a medium that like I personally enjoy it a lot, but I have a lot of trouble picking this one over maybe so many other options and stuff. It's not the style of game that I prefer, but I did have a good time playing it.
Yeah, I think it'd be one of those games that it would be a lot easier to pull out if you do have other people that enjoy these kinds of Euro games together, and it would maybe come to the table a little bit more just because you got other people there kind of excited to play it together. And I could certainly see how this would be more fun with that group size that we played it at 4 than maybe playing it like, I don't know. It could be fun as a 2-player game too.
Oh, it was fun as a solo game.
As a solo, yeah.
It was.
Do you like? Well, what did you think between the amount of enjoyment you had as solo as opposed to playing it as a 4-player?
Well, when I soloed it, I was new, so I was kind of learning the game as I soloed, which is really frustrating because you don't know. There's no one there to tell you did that wrong.
Yeah.
But that's where I kind of learned the game and got comfortable with it. And then once I felt like I understood it enough, then I brought my wife in and she and I played it probably 2 or 3 times. Once she learned it, my wife liked it okay, but again, not her favorite game. And pretty soon, if I brought it up, it was like, hey, you want to play Black Angel? It was always, no, I do not want to play that.
Yeah, I could see how there's only so many tricks the game is doing, though, too. So, I mean...
This might be a game you buy and you play like 7 or 8 times with your friends and stuff, and then trade it off for something else.
Maybe so. But I did really enjoy it, though, so...
It's not a bad game at all.
Yeah.
It's fun and it's colorful and it's neat. The neat components and stuff. But yeah, complicated. A lot going on.
Yeah. Pretty robots.
Pretty robots.
Beep boop.
Beep boop boop. That's all we have to say. Beep boop.
Boop boop beep boop.
Well, folks, that's all we got for you today. If you like this video, we're just gonna abruptly end it now.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, that's all we got for you today. If you like this video, be sure to click like. If you'd like to come back, hit subscribe. We'd love to see you again, and we're going to have more things to talk about very soon. Leave a comment. Let me know, do you have this game? Do you like Euro games? Are they your favorite thing? Have you tried this one? How does it compare to others? I'd like to know, especially if you play Twa. I'd like to know what the difference is.
And make sure you pronounce it right.
Yeah.
Twa.
Twa! We'll see you later.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Humanity is done.
Yeah, I guess, did we even mention what actually is the theme of it?
No, we did neglect to mention the theme.
You're re-inseminating Earth now. You're re-peopling Earth. That's the nice.
And folks, that's all we got for you today. If you like this video, be sure to click like. If you'd like to come back, please. There
you go. That's perfect. Keep that.